Hi everyone, I'm Naomi Brockwell for NBTV and this is Breaking Bitcoin.
How about with the audio on? Welcome to Breaking Bitcoin, recorded live here in the Cracking Cryptocurrency studio. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2020. Beautiful year. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic wherever you happen to be tuning in from, whether that's from YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, or on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. You know, in the early days of Bitcoin, Hal Finney, who many speculate was actually Satoshi Nakamoto himself, made a prediction about how high Bitcoin's price could potentially against the dollar go. Today, Adam Back, CEO of Blockstream, echoes a very similar sentiment and very similar numbers. So we asked the question, can Bitcoin eventually trade as high as $10 million? We're going to explore that in today's episode. Also, made a big upgrade to one of our most popular indicators on TradingView, the baseline indicator. We're going to be talking about that today, all of the upgrades as well as how to access it. We have written a complete user manual for how to utilize this. And in my opinion, it's one of the best indicators that I've written just to act as a comprehensive companion to any strategy that an individual may be running. So we'll go through that today as well. We'll also be breaking down the price of Bitcoin. We're going to try to take a peek at regular indices and currency pairs as well, as it is Monday by request, and answering your user-submitted questions and chart requests. Thank you guys so much. If you want to support the show, make sure to subscribe over there on YouTube. Give us a follow on Twitch and DLive, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at cracking_crypto. Let's get right in, guys. We've got a fantastic show for you guys today. Let's get going. Here we go. All right. So over here on TradingView, and I put the link down in the description for the baseline indicator on TradingView. You can just go to tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com, navigate to scripts, and click on the baseline indicator, or you can check the link in the description right down below. So this is what it looks like. This is what it does. It automatically determines take profit and stop loss level based on your input settings. And I have added a ton of smoothing options in here as well for the actual moving average calculation, including Jurek moving average, Eller's deviation scaled moving average. Let's see here. Refresh my memory on my recent update. Modular filter. I added the McGinley, Donchian V2, the TEMA. I added triangular moving average and the volatility adjusted moving average. Some of those have inputs that you can modify directly in the settings. The other thing that I did was I completely refactored the code. I added in alerts for 3 no trade zones in channel, candle size, and qualifying line, as well as adding recovery for no trade zones as well. So when we've been in a no trade zone, but potentially a buy or a sell signal has been generated, and now we've recovered from those conditions, and if the rest of your system is agreeing, the baseline indicator anyways agrees that you can take the trade. So this is a pretty simple concept of utilizing a moving average or some form of smooth price action to determine trend. This is a big part of what we do as well. A lot of individuals have helped contribute to this concept, and I thank you guys, all of you guys. I've just tried to make it as modular and as adjustable and as customizable as humanly possible. So hopefully you guys have a lot of fun playing with it. Currently, it's only available to premium subscribers in the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. However, the user manual is live for anybody that wants to go view that. So if we actually navigate over here, and the link to this, if you go to the indicator and just scroll down to January 11th, my release notes features added in V3. This is baseline V3. You can find the link here. It takes you to Google Docs. This is live. This is available to anybody. So you can see all of the documentation on everything that was added, the introduction. I go through every single input option and how to adjust them per your strategy, what every single input means. I go over the additional options for the smoothing functions as well. I completely define the no trade conditions and how that's calculated and how it works, how to trade all of those conditions, what it means for them to recover, what it looks like. And then in the appendix, I have the strategies. It references you to the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group. And then more information. This is the information that I pulled upon to create at least the smoothing options, and then credits down here. Big shout out to Furry Boffin as well. Really helped in inspiring me to write better Pine code. So thank you guys so much. So if you guys want to go check that out, again, the link is down in the description below, and I'd appreciate your feedback on that as well. Premium members, I know we're pretty excited to get their hands on this. Moving along to today's market analysis. Let's start off, as we always do, on the weekly time frame. And we're going to go ahead and hide drawing tools for right now, and just get a glimpse of the market. And this is a beautiful thing. What's really interesting for me. Hold on, let me make sure I pull up my notes here, so I do not go astray. Oh, interesting. I put that in the wrong. Doesn't matter. Put that in the wrong section. It was interesting. I was showing somebody, a personal friend, last evening, the Bitcoin chart. This is not something that they were intimately familiar with, the price of Bitcoin. And, just going to the weekly and showing somebody the logarithmic scale, it's a pretty neat sight when you just see a newbie's kind of eyes pop open and you realize how fantastic it is to be in this asset class and in this space. But I digress. Let's keep it linear for right now. And let's talk about what occurred on yesterday's evening close. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. We're at a very important point in Bitcoin's price. On one hand, you have the reality that so far, if this is the local weekly swing high, then we will just have made on the weekly time frame here another lower high. And most likely what would follow after that is a lower low. And we have of course, talked about those levels before, 4,900 being my ultimate downside target on that movement. And again, we've referenced volume profile, support, and resistance. We've also referenced our important moving averages here on the weekly time frame. However, for discretionary line trading, which I do not like, by the way, it also does line up quite nicely. I'll post that chart on TradingView later on this week. When I get a chance to sit down and do it. I'm going to be doing a lot of developing this week. But I'll get it. I'll try to post that if I can. And essentially, I think, I believe that one of our senior analysts already did with his trade setup because he is trading that. But this channel that Bitcoin's price is currently trading in, which this is pretty much all that I've seen other analysts be able to reference. And again, no disrespect to anybody, but this has now become a meme. A lot of individuals are trading this channel pattern. And so it is relevant to talk about just so we can get a grasp of how the majority of the market that considers themselves savvy traders are attempting to view price and predict price turns and pivot points. So anyways, if we do some time dilation on that as well and extend out on average, what's the length of the weekly swings? Then we can project out roughly when we will be getting that lower low. And that we have a strong potential to hit it. It depends on if you use the linear or the logarithmic chart, but strong potential to hit that actually towards the end of February or the beginning of March if we are going to descend down to 4,900 if we keep the pace of our weekly swings currently. And like I said, I'll post that chart on TradingView, and that thesis is only correct if this is the local swing high and we do end up rejecting from here. So we have that on one hand. On the other hand, however, and what I am mostly trading is actually the fact that for the first time, my weekly system has given me a long signal since February 2019 on strong volume. I'm pretty excited about that. This did close as a confirmed, and this will be valid. This will be valid as long as price is above 72.70. Now that number will change. That number will scale up as long as price continues to evolve over the next few weeks. But I want to state that this is absolutely critical because of where we are at. Again, on one hand, we are at the very top of resistance on the weekly time frame, diagonal resistance, which I don't really believe is a thing, but doesn't mean that the market cannot respond to that. So the difference between something not being a thing and not being acted upon. We are still in this overall supply area, this overhead supply area, this red box territory. This is congruent with volume profile analysis of the weekly time frame. So definitely some strong overhead resistance. We also, of course, have our EMA cluster coming in right here, something that we are attempting to deal with. We have currently rejected from the 21 weekly exponential moving average. The 13 weekly EMA is still above the 55 and giving us a little bit of a curl up. So it teased at the 1355 cross under, which, as I've talked about, is a very strong bearish initiation signal and one I will be trading full risk. But it hasn't happened yet. It's teasing us. It's teasing us for the short. And because of that, We do have some, again, this is a very, very interesting pivot point for Bitcoin. I don't mean pivot point literally the way that most individuals would use that word as something of a thing. I mean that more generally. Like the next week is going to, in my opinion, determine what the trend, what the direction of the next big trend in Bitcoin will be. Either we're going to get a lower low and descend down to 55 to 4,900, or we're going to push up to the $10,000 region, because the next level of overhead resistance doesn't really start till 9,300. There's very, very little volume in between, volume resistance between us and there. There's no significant moving averages. And when we do get, that's not a blue sky breakout, but essentially when we begin entering into low volume nodes, doesn't mean we can't get rejection at those areas that the market cannot switch, but it does mean that we're going to have to utilize our regular daily trading system to begin to identify when to be entering and exiting the market, okay? So the weekly is actually really positive. I'm going to defer more, of course, here to my strategy, which is what I trade. I'm a mechanical-based trader. I take less discretionary trades. Again, there are referred to, I think Mark Douglas does a great summation of this in his book, Trading in the Zone. Essentially, there are three types of traders. There are mechanical traders, there are discretionary rules-based traders, and there are intuitive traders. And I do not like intuitive trading because it is very hard to quantify. It is very hard to build a system out of intuitive trading. I think that intuitive trading should apply to your mechanical or discretionary trading in a sense to where you have become so good and proficient in your style of trading that you just execute very flawlessly, very easily. So my primary strategy is mechanical. My secondary strategy is discretionary, rules-based. So anytime I take a reversal trade, for example, that is discretion, because my primary mechanical strategy is trend following. I do not mechanically trade reversals. I will only ever trade reversals discretionarily, and I will only ever trade reversion to the mean discretionarily. I will never trade those mechanically. So I always default to my mechanical system because it is quantifiable. It is my model of profitability in the market. I've been working on it for years, and it is what has allowed me to become a consistently profitable trader and make trading, now cryptocurrency, my full-time job. And it puts the food on the table. Because of that, I'm always going to default to my mechanical strategy. And currently that is signaling that we have something happening right now that has not happened since February of 2019. And clearly what occurred in February of 2019, we had quite a nice bullish run up. So I'll leave it at that. The weekly chart is very interesting. The weekly chart is bullish. We are still in a bullish environment, bullish above 72.70. Now for actual trading, I think this is going to be better for your very long-term positional trades, or you're looking for your investment opportunity in Bitcoin. This isn't going to be directly tradable, this isn't going to be tradable to the majority of individuals trading on the daily or the lower time frames because of the distance to that invalidation zone. I mean, we are talking about an $800 movement to invalidate. Now in Bitcoin, in my opinion, for positional trading, that's really nothing. But for most traders who are generally used to using like a $25 to $100 stop loss, that's a little bit different. So again, the distance to the stop loss doesn't matter whatsoever. The only thing that matters is based off of that data, what position size do you take? What position size do you take? So most likely a position size with that wide of a stop loss for a trade is going to be quite a small position size, most likely for a leveraged long, not even your entire amount of capital. And again, most individuals trading crypto are used to using leverage as a way to bet their entire equity plus some, right? Instead of betting the correct portion of their equity with lower counterparty risk by keeping their funds in cold storage. But I digress. So weekly, very interesting. We are at a very important time for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm really excited to see what this weekly close brings us. But so far, quite positive. Now on the daily time frame, for Bitcoin, we do have a rising volume. This is just an area of the volume-weighted moving average. This is a very good way to gauge whether the trend has strength or not. This is one of the simplest, and this is not part of my mechanical strategy, but it used to be. Just a simple volume-weighted moving average. Is it going up? Is it moving up or is it moving down? You can get a little bit more fancy if you want, add a moving average on here or some filter and do crossovers if you want. I tried that and I had mixed success with it. Sometimes it was really good, sometimes it was bad. I think, is volume moving up or moving down? On average, volume weighted. I think that's a much better gauge of that. So very simple. That's a built-in. I've just defined it to an area because I don't really like lines below my screen, so that makes more sense to me. But anyways, let's take a gander. What do we have right here? Looking at the daily time frame. Again, The last 2 days and today, we are going to be getting continuation long signals. As you guys can see, we are in gold dot territory. And I know this is kind of a new concept, so I'll be explaining this as we go, but this is my new strategy. This is not really my new strategy. This is my same strategy. I've just been able to publish it and begin working on the new code and rechanging the way that it presents data. So thank you guys for understanding, I guess is the something. Anyways, we're in gold dot territory. So very simply, this line hugs price and it's dynamic and it modifies based on whether or not price is above or below it. So we are in continuation zone. Daily longs will be invalidated currently at 79.54. So if the daily closes below 79.54, daily swing trades to the upside are going to be invalidated. And again, trending does not mean that you can take daily swing shorts. Doesn't mean that. You're not allowed to take daily swing shorts on the daily until price is below 75.72. But currently, I would tell you that you don't want to be looking for longs until price recovers a little bit, right? So we're looking for a nice recovery. Currently still giving us the go-ahead for continuation longs. Obviously, I think the best one, as you can see, we're in white dot territory here, so that's a no-go. Then we get a nice pullback on the next candle. And if you would have taken that, if you would have been patient, and either entered here, you can see gold dot territory. This is a red candle, actually, even though the baseline is repainting it. This is a down candle. We open here and close here. You would have gotten a very good profitable movement. Same here if you would have entered on the continuation gold dot territory. This is congruent. This is the same concept that I talk about with reversal baseline bounces, just slightly modified to a higher degree. So almost consider this as a reversal baseline bounce off the qualifier line, if that makes sense, right? So remember, we take baseline, we add the qualifier line. So it's a reversal baseline bounce off of a higher level, off of the qualifier line, okay? There we go. That's a good way to think of it. And it's almost 100% how the mathematics work behind that. So anyways, but not quite. So yeah, good continuation entry here. Good continuation entry here. You actually did get a continuation entry on yesterday's close, and you would currently be in drawdown right now if you had entered around yesterday's daily close around 81.80. Again, price currently trading at about 80.90 right now on a down candle. So far traders have painted the daily trend of the week bearish. Again, the direction that the daily candle closes on Monday can often be quite deterministic of the future, of the weekly direction of the market overall. Again, I think a lot of individuals are leveraged into shorts at this point in time because we have now rejected from the trend line and the EMA 21. This is even an area where I myself said that I am short. And again, this is an interesting area of the market because having talked to individuals, I've done a lot of mentoring over should we be looking to long the breakout or should we be shorting the rejection? And the answer to that question is do your own charting, look at your own strategy, and ask what is it telling you to do? Right? Have you built your strategy to take discretionary reversals off of trends or channels that you have faith in? Then you should most likely short the movement, set your stop loss, and you're either right or you're wrong, right? You can always go long later on if your stop loss is invalidated, or you can structure a stop buy order for a breakout if that's the situation. You can also structure, if you're long, you can structure a stop market sell order for a short if you're invalidated, right? A lot of ways that you can do this. Again, profitable trading has almost nothing to do with being right about price direction and almost everything about managing your risk via position sizing and controlling your ego, right? So it's not about whether or not you can predict the price movements. It's very difficult for people to do that consistently. Even professional hedge fund managers, they often do not get it right. Most traders don't. Most traders are right about 50 to 60% of the time on average. And that's why building a strategy that is right 60 to 70% of the time, or in some cases, highly optimized strategies that are right more than that, are a beautiful thing to have and behold and witness and to be a part of the construction of. Because they're going to be your fair and foul weather friends, no matter what the market's doing. So anyways, valid continuation longs on the daily, current price target, initial price target around 84.08 to 84.14. Stop loss at 76.22 with long invalidation at 79.54. 79.54. Keep that in mind. The daily closes below there. Overall rising volume. I think that the daily does, in a long perspective, coupled with the weekly, look quite good. However, we do have a few things here if we come down to the CME chart. Now, the CME we opened up this week on a gap to the upside, meaning that we had a gap to fill. Price has come down to the Price has now come down over the course of today, since the market opened last night, actually, my time, the CME markets, and filled that gap. So we did close last week at 81.25, and we opened up this week, at 82.35. We have completely filled that gap, and we are just hugging we're just staying there. Like, we haven't really moved from there. We haven't seen a strong bounce from the gap fill. So one concept, and this is what I am currently discretionarily trading, is the fact that look at the volume off the last few weekly opens. Look at how Bitcoin's price has absolutely exploded the last few weekly opens. And then look at the volume that we currently have so far on today's open. I mean, it is pitiful. And what is price doing overall since this local swing high? Price is falling. All right, price is falling. And volume is falling as well now on this weekly open. Now, this can change, obviously, in a heartbeat. We can get, again, the market can switch. We can start getting some bullish price appreciation. But although the daily does look bullish, it does look like on the meso timeframes, like we have formed now a lower low and a lower high, meaning that the meso trend has shifted. Doesn't mean that the daily trend is not bullish, but it does mean that the meso trend has shifted currently potentially into bearish territory. So if you look very carefully at that lower gap, this lower gap that we filled last week during our trading session, and you guys will recall, this is actually something that we traded ourselves. We talked about this on stream. This was a price movement that we traded. But we can see that that gap didn't really get all the way filled. So I would postulate if we actually move that down to the weekly close and then correlate that with the weekly open, that actually gives us a gap from 77.25 to 76.48. And I think that that is a likely downside target should price fall down there. Keep in mind that will also indicate forming a lower low if we do trade lower than, what is the low of this candle? I think it's 69. 7,700 is actually the low of this candle. And that is also strengthened by the fact that if we go look over at sensor charts and look at, all right, so let's go down and look at sensor charts, and it's not going to let me scroll down that low in the bins. But I do have access to a little bit better order book data that I can't display here on stream. But we do have, in my opinion, well, not in my opinion, objectively, the largest orders down at around 7,700, almost on the dot. We can also see a 300 buy wall at 7,800, 150 BTC at 7,900, 7,850. Now, those will modify and shift as we get down there. More relevant to current traded price, we have support at 80.50. We begin getting resistance at 81.60, and the sell walls are stacked a little thicker. 81.60 up to 8,200, 82.10. Above that, we start to get pretty dispersed up to 8,300, give or take. But sell walls fairly tight. Again, volume is very low on this weekly open. Volume is very low on today's trading period, which for me is bearish, right? Intraday. So we want to see a nice, strong, bullish weekly open. We want to see a nice, strong, bullish open to the start of the trade week, especially on Monday morning, because now we've already had the New York open, and price really hasn't responded. Price has responded with falling volume and overall falling price. So that's not a good sign to see intraday. So that's based on that, is affecting my directional trades intraday. But that does not invalidate the daily until, again, as I talked about, we get that daily close below 79.54. That will invalidate the current daily long swing, which, depending on how savvy or how patiently, you entered into this trade, if you would have taken the continuation trade here or here, here would have lost you money. But here, potentially, if this dot moves up, you will barely lose anything. And of course, here, you would have already hit take profit 1 and scaled out profits on your continuation entry for the long sell. Nothing to worry about there. And of course, the weekly will take a week to invalidate or invalidate. And honestly, the weekly long swing will not be invalidated until price closes currently the weekly below 72.70. I expect that depending on how many weeks it takes to get down there, I do expect that level to move up to around 75, 7,600 over the next few weeks. So again, major turning point for Bitcoin right here. Very interesting point in the market. And I wish you guys the absolute best in navigating it. So this is what we do. So thank you guys for that. That's the BTC analysis. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the live chat and in the comment section down below. Let me know your opinions on price action this morning and overall for the week. Let me know your opinions on the weekly open and what you expect to see out of Bitcoin. And I'll do my best to give you guys my advice and a comment on your opinions. If you guys are interested in working with a team that deals in statistical certainty, that works on building models, that works on real professional trading. Make sure to check out all that we do in the premium trading group at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com, including proprietary strategies, indicators, signals, and mentorship. Love to see you guys in our community. Love to help you out as much as we can. We're here to help everybody grow. Okay, we've got the crypto comment giveaway to do now, guys. Let's give away some crypto to a commenter on Friday's video. So I want to thank today's crypto comment giveaway sponsor, Spectre Security Coin. Make sure to go check them out at spectresecurity.io for all your security needs. Great guys, great project over there. And Friday's video was Best Bitcoin Buy Signal. Will the weekly close call the bottom? BCH and BSV in jeopardy. Make sure to go check out Friday's video, especially the segment on BCH and BSV. I think that's very, very important for individuals to see and understand and know. We did get into a fairly decent conversation about that, I think. And we'll be publishing that as a Breaking Bitcoin Bits. But as we do every day, we select a random YouTube commenter and reward them with some crypto. 28 comments on Friday's video. So let's randomly pick a winner. So that's me. So we can do that again. AGW says, best video I've watched in a long while on YouTube. No, the best video. Super interesting and so good to know I'm traveling in the same direction as the pros. Great content provider. Boy, I think that means boy. Hopefully that's boy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, AGW. I really, really appreciate it, my friend. You can join the Discord at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. And you can message me or the CC Concierge bot, and we will make sure to get you your Spectre. You can access Spectre by going to spectresecurity.io and downloading their desktop wallet, or you can go to Spectre, spectre.crackingcryptocurrency.com to join their Discord. And you can go into their bot spam channel and create a wallet right in their Discord server, and I will tip you directly on their server. So thank you so much to Spectre Security for sponsoring the giveaway. And thank you, AGW, for your comment. And if you guys would like an opportunity to win crypto, which again, we do give away every day, make sure to leave a comment down below today's YouTube video and get entered in your chance to win 8,000 XSPC tokens. Okay, moving right along from that. We have today's you know what? It is Monday. So following that, let's actually just take a peek. And if you guys have specific requests, leave them in the live chat. The moderators will grab them and bring them to my attention. But let's go to the daily time frame here and take a look at our indices and our precious metals and some currencies, right? We won't have an opportunity to get into all of them because I do have to do a brief show today on Monday. Not a brief show. We're obviously going to cover everything, but doing the hourly segment. By the way, we had talked last week about plans to move the show to the evening as well. We're not going to be able to do it that week. The development team is really ramping up. We had kind of a breakthrough over the weekend. So we're going to pause on that for a second. We're not shelving the idea completely. I'm still going to experiment with moving the show to the evening, but we're going to push that off for a week or two, give us a little bit more time to strategize, plan, set up the infrastructure that we need to do that, make sure that everybody's time availability is agreeable, and we will keep you guys updated on that. But we're not going to actually do that this week, so we will not be live streaming this evening. Sorry if you guys made plans for that. You obviously are welcome to come hang out in the Discord where we always are. But let's go check out the traditional markets to begin with. We'll start off by looking at the futures, the E-minis on the S&P 500. Let's see what we got here. We got some chop. Rising volume, obviously. We are bullish overall still, of course, on the SPY. Price is bullish above 32.61. We currently, interestingly enough, we have long continuation on today's daily candle, invalidation below 32.52, which is interesting. So obviously your baseline is going to invalidate you before your continuation filter is going to invalidate you. Let's see here. And we have recovered from the no trade. This is interesting. So the last big candle to the upside, we did get a no trade warning. And on this down candle right here, we did get our first trade recovery. And keep in mind, the way this is programmed is it's just going to give you this alert if it's been 3 or less days since, or bars, since the no trade warning. So obviously we can see that yesterday's candle did not give, although we gapped up today on the SPY. The entry on Friday would have been the best. The entry on Friday's close or close to Friday's close would have been the best. We did gap up, but we also didn't have a continuation signal on Friday's close. We do today. So it would have been a good gap up opportunity, but not one that could have been safely strategically taken. But anyways, long continuation trades, initial take profit of 32.98 with currently a stop loss at 32.39 for the SPY. Looking at the Dow, the Dow is bullish. We do not have long continuation yet at this point in time, so nothing to do. The Russell 1000 is actually going to be bearish, interestingly enough, and we do have short continuation currently on the table for the Russell up to 1671, short invalidation above that level. Taking a look at VIX. Let's get rid of this. All right. Get rid of. Sorry, just look at that. Level, yeah, VIX currently about 12.55, so not fantastic. Not a fantastic VIX. Fairly low volatility, but could be much worse. Could be much worse. Okay, let's take a look at where is CFDs. Let's look at gold. Okay, so last swing trade, we talked about this on gold. You guys can see entry, exit. Currently, there is no trade on the table for gold. We did have long continuation on Friday as we closed, but I'm always hesitant of that, especially coming off an exit signal. We do have rising volume, which is quite good, and an overall bullish trend. So currently, longs are valid, but we don't have long continuation valid on today's candle, so nothing to do. And actually, any current longs are going to be invalid at 1547. Current baseline at 1527, so price bullish above 1527, looking for shorts below 1527. So nothing to do on gold today. We can see it's kind of droopy and just moving sideways, very similar to Bitcoin after a really nice, good run up. Let's just be patient with these guys and wait for the next movement. Let's take a look at silver over here. Very similar. In fact, silver even a little bit more bearish. As you guys can see, the last trade on silver, exit signal over here at the top on the 8th. We are actually, interestingly enough, our continuation is telling us to be looking for shorts, but we are above the baseline, so we're not looking for shorts. So absolutely nothing to do on silver today. Palladium is good. Palladium, one should be long on. One would have needed to wait for this candle to actually get long on Palladium. No continuation, so if you're not long on Palladium right now, do not get long on Palladium. Just be patient and wait, and this is where you want to be taking profits on the way up. But otherwise, don't do anything. Just be taking profits when you're supposed to. Current next take profit target is going to be 21.72. But of course, if you've been in from the beginning, you should, of course, at some point have scaled out 50%. And I would absolutely have a trailing stop loss right now. I'd have a trailing stop loss from 2080 right now if I were you. Platinum, let's see here. Okay. No trade candle here, which is good because we did get a big pullback. Now we have wick to the upside. We have, platinum is actually going to be an okay trade. We have rising volume. We have a no trade on price closing above the baseline. And now we have trade recovery. So we do have a valid long trade on platinum, but we don't have 100% here. As we can see, we're not in gold dot territory. However, we're coming out of a no trade condition on a qualifying candle. So this is going to be okay to take. Platinum currently trading at 975, 51.5. Current stop loss at 945, 529, and first TP at 995. I would do this one at half risk if we take the platinum trade. I would do this at half risk, not full risk. I don't like that no gold dot. Doesn't mean that the trade's not good. It means that we want to manage risk. Let's go take a look at our currencies. If you guys want me to look at any commods, let me know. Aussie yen is going to be, let's double check here. Aussie yen is good, closing above the baseline here. System verifies. We actually got the long signal over here, and now we're crossing above. Aussie yen looks quite good, rising volume. Aussie Kiwi is good if you entered when you were supposed to, which would have been right here or here if you wanted to. remember, these entry signals are not, these entry and exit signals are not all the B's, not the end all be all. You also have to understand how to use the baseline. So yeah, entry here was fine. Ooh, you know what? I don't like that falling volume. Sorry, I didn't notice that at first, the falling volume on this movement. Yeah, this would likely not be something that I'm in. It was a good trade. You have hit take profit 1. So if you took the Aussie Kiwi off of Thursday, you've hit take profit 1. Move that stop loss to break even. Don't worry about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do anything with this. Aussie CAD is a no trade. Not looking for continuation shorts. No trade. Waiting for it to flip long. Aussie dollar also no trade. Canadian Swissy unfortunately is a no trade. This thing is chop Meister City right now, man. I want nothing to do with this. CAD yen is pretty good. Nice rising volume. Continuation right here. Actually, sorry, no, right here. Because we popped the bubble. Continuation right here. Haven't hit TP1 yet. Your TP1 should be at 84. Let's say 84.43, 84.42. Other than that, nothing to do on the Aussie Kiwi. No recontinuation, or excuse me, the CAD yen. Nothing to do right now. Swissy yen. You missed this one if you didn't get in already. Entry signal over here with rising volume, so pretty good for the Swissy yen. Already hit TP1. Move that stop loss to break even and continue carrying on. If you missed it, you missed it. Nothing to do. The Euro Aussie is in a no trade zone. The Euro CAD is in a no trade zone. Waiting for closes above 145. Looking for closes above 57. 145.57. Euro Swissy, no, nothing. Euro Kiwi, no, garbage. Euro Pound, pretty good. Looking for an actual genuine break out of this range here on good volume. Nice break above and a trade here. Pull back to the baseline and some continuation that we seem to be getting. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is risky. Actually, like a quarter risk on this one because of the size of the candle and the fact that we're not in continuation zone. But we did pop. And we do have rising volume. So the trade is valid up to 86.35, 86.358. Managing risk currently at 84812. Quarter risk. With that being said, let's take a look at the other Euro trades and see what makes the most sense. Not the Euro dollar. I would say out of the three, out of the Euro yen, the Euro pound, and the Euro dollar, the Euro pound looks the best. Pound Kiwi is in a no trade zone. The pound CAD is in a no trade zone. Pound Swissy. Looking at these, the pound dollar, so screw the pound dollar, but the pound Aussie, the pound CAD, and the pound Swissy, all three of these, so not the pound CAD, sorry, the pound Swissy and the pound, okay, just the pound Swissy actually. I've been flipping back and forth between them because they're all basically giving the same short signal. So the pound Swissy looks to be the best. Pound Swissy looks to be the best for the short trade. The Kiwi dollar, also valid for a short trade. Not the Kiwi CAD. And the Kiwi Swissy, not the Kiwi yen. Those are all valid for continuation shorts. Sorry, be more clear. Not the Kiwi yen. It's a no trade zone. Kiwi Swissy, the Kiwi CAD, the Kiwi dollar are valid for continuation shorts, and I would likely stick away from the Kiwi CAD because of this recent exit signal. Dollar CAD, nothing. The dollar Swissy is no. Dollar yen looks strong. At a trade here on rising volume. Not if you missed it. Not if you didn't take the trade on Thursday or Friday like you should have. You haven't hit TP1 yet. Shooting for about 56. 110.56. Aussie Swissy, no trade. And the dollar yuan gave you 1,000 short signals and continuation shorts here. here, and here. So don't chase a falling brick, guys. You missed the trade on the dollar won, but otherwise this is a beautiful trade. This is one of the best trades. It's one of the best trades of January, in my opinion, right here. Short on the dollar yuan. All right, that's FX, guys. If you got any more questions or specific comments about it, make sure to let me know. And with that being said, we need to crack on to today's cryptocurrency segment and get into today's news. Let's go. All right, so Bitcoin is celebrating a big milestone today. Some would argue a valid 11-month anniversary. Some would argue a valid 11-month anniversary. So yesterday, 11-month anniversary. Did I just say that twice? 11-year anniversary of the Bitcoin network in many opinions. All right. And this was yesterday, Bitcoin celebrated the 11-year anniversary of its first peer-to-peer trustless transaction. On January 12th, 2009, the first Bitcoin transfer took place when the legendary Satoshi Nakamoto sent about 10 Bitcoin to fellow cryptographer Hal Finney. Now, because Bitcoin had to initially accrue via block rewards from mining, transactions were not very, they were pretty scant. Transactions were pretty scant, with Satoshi and other early miners mostly mining empty blocks while collecting the very first Bitcoin to come into existence. Then, the very first test transaction happened with Finney as the recipient, who some believe was actually Satoshi himself. Now, what followed since the mile transfer was an exciting decade of incredible growth of the Bitcoin network, with billions more in value moved over those years. Now, following that first transfer, another year would pass before transactions on the network actually began to pick up, and Bitcoin would actually start seeing its real use as a transfer of value. And this led to the now infamous Bitcoin Pizza Day, where on May 22nd, 2010, 2 Papa John's pizzas were ordered for 10,000 Bitcoin, now valued above $8.1 million. Now, the number of daily transactions has grown to be viewed as a metric for the health of the Bitcoin network. As it's established itself over the years, more than 300,000 transactions per day have become the norm. Now, interestingly enough, it would be transaction load that would go on to lead a heated discussion on how to scale transactions throughput of the network, and many to debate what Satoshi Nakamoto really intended as the scaling solution for Bitcoin. Now, so far, no consensus has been found universally, but Bitcoin economics has also helped shape the network and achieve a temporary balance. Fees remain relatively low, though not affordable for microtransactions. And at the same time, high-value transactions are completely possible with relatively low fees compared to other processing systems. Now, this transaction anniversary re-sparked some of the common stories told about the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. One of the theories is that Hal Finney was the actual cryptographer behind Bitcoin's invention, and that Satoshi Nakamoto was an alter ego, an online pseudonym. Now, celebrating the 11th anniversary, many are looking back and reflecting at Finney's old prediction of $10 million per Bitcoin. Now, one such person doing this reflecting is Adam Back, Blockstream CEO and co-founder, who says the notion that Bitcoin could one day soar above $10 million is not as crazy as it sounds. We see over here. Now, Adam Back is CEO of the extremely influential blockchain company Blockstream. Now, he has analyzed this price prediction that Hal Finney originally made by taking a look at the thought experiment that the early Bitcoin developer Hal Finney proposed. So back in 2009, an email chain with the anonymous creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, and Finney examined just how high Bitcoin's price could potentially go. He said, quote, "As an amusing thought experiment, imagine that Bitcoin is successful and becomes the dominant payment system in use throughout the world. Then the total value of the currency should be equal to the total value of all of the wealth of the world. Current estimates of total worldwide household wealth that I have found range from 100 trillion to 300 trillion. With 20 million coins, that gives each coin a value of about $10 million. Unquote. Now, according to Back, this massive valuation could be realized if Bitcoin gains widespread global use as a currency and a store of value. Now, to be fair, Back also factors in the value of the United States dollar, which could see its purchasing power continue to decline in the years and decades to come. Back stated, quote, "It's closer than it sounds, as along the path of hyper-Bitcoinization, the USD inflation rises, in other words, aided by modern monetary theory rationale for high inflation. So $1 becomes, say, 10 cents over a decade or two of monetary craziness. Then $10 million per Bitcoin is $1 million per Bitcoin in today's money. And $100,000 Bitcoin doesn't seem so far away, given we already crossed the $10,000 threshold a few times when few expected even $1,000 some years back, and 10K seemed absolutely crazy." So, end quote. Definitely bringing it into perspective, and also bringing in the potential decline or inflation, i.e. reduction of purchasing power of the United States dollar into account. So if we adjust for that, it seems far more likely. If we don't adjust for that, it still seems likely. Now, in the more foreseeable future, the new threshold for Bitcoin's price is envisioned at $100,000, although few will venture to guess a specific time frame that this six-figure landmark could be reached. And now, we've obviously reviewed a variety of ambitious pricing models, and they tend to reveal that the coming decade is going to be holding, one thing they all agree on is at least that the next decade holds big promise for Bitcoin, and that price is still on track to discover a potential new range well above previous all-time highs. There's no model that disagrees with that, except for Nouriel Roubini's model, which I think he drew on an Etch-a-Sketch. Now, back when Bitcoin was still trading below $1,000, or in the depths of the soul-crushing 2018 bear market, a $100,000 Bitcoin seemed pretty far-fetched. But since then, Bitcoin has crossed the $10,000 threshold on several occasions, and many in the space now feel that we are setting up for the next bull market that will break the current all-time high and carry us well to the $100,000 moonshot. Now, in early 2020, we are seeing the Bitcoin ecosystem maturing dramatically. With trading volumes growing and futures markets picking up the pace, it is possible that the new batch of derivative and spot trading instruments in combination with institutional money may end up being the catalyst to drive Bitcoin's price to a higher level. Now, driving investors to accumulate increasingly more coins is this expectation of higher values in the coming years. Big wallets or addresses with large holdings continue to grow in number. Many in the space are banking on the scarcity of this new digital asset, and HODL has become a mantra among the crypto faithful and new investors to the space as well. Now, while a great deal of trading activity does happen today without physical Bitcoin movements, futures markets allow market participants to account for price fluctuations while the actual coins are being held in cold storage, as we've talked about so many times, utilizing leverage as an opportunity to reduce counterparty risk. Now, for this decade, a six-digit valuation is not an unreasonable threshold for Bitcoin price predictions. Now, with the macro perspective, considering the growing nominal amount of fiat in the world, the hard-capped Bitcoin could see virtually no limit on what its actual price valued against fiat could soar to. You have to remember that all of this, these kind of conversations make more sense. How much could something rise in price if we remember, for example, that governments and central banks own the printing presses, so they can just print way more money. So again, if you guys want to go back to Germany, for example, or Venezuela and hyperinflation, you guys can talk about paying, what used to cost $1 for a loaf of bread is now $10 million, right? So pretty easy to see. So I think that if we see a $10 million Bitcoin, it's either a sign that we have really, really made it, and Bitcoin is just wildly successful, or it could also be a sign that America has really, really phoned it in. Now, with Bitcoin entering its third halving event in May, that will cut the reward to just 9 new BTC, to the total supply to 900 new BTC entering the supply each day. This could trigger the start of the next significant cycle in price that may see Bitcoin even breach its previous all-time high and go on to vindicate the die-hard bulls, not pointing any fingers here, that called for 100,000, and maybe even 10 million could potentially be in store one day as well. Let me know your guys' thoughts and comments and opinions in the comment section down below and in the live chat. What do you feel is Bitcoin's new all-time high? How high do you guys think Bitcoin's price can go? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to post any charts. Just tell me honestly what you guys feel based on the evidence, based on your research, based on your information, how high you think price can go. And of course, I will pick a random commenter tomorrow and we will tip you some crypto, courtesy of Spectre Security. Now, with that being said, guys, let's go over to DLive. Boom. This is like CC Inception. Let's go over to DLive. Thank you guys for the support. Let's go over to DLive and put some lemons in this here basket. There we go. Lemons in the basket, boys. And let's distribute these rewards. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are watching us on DLive and you chat or donate or engage or follow, DLive understands that and puts you kind of in the poll. And then we give away about 50 to 100 lemons every single day just to reward our followers. So you get to take part of that. So thank you guys. Congratulations. And coming in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bing! Hallelujah. Wendy 2, Forza World TV. Congratulations, guys. Highly appreciated. You guys are awesome. Yeah, man, the volume today is very, very pitiful. All right, with that being said, we're going to have a brief word from our friends over at ByBit, and then we're going to go to the questions and answer segment where we answer your questions that you submit in the live chat. This is Jason when he first learned about Bitcoin margin trading on BitMEX.
Why? Why? Give it back! Give it back! Oh, give it back!
This is Jason 6 months later after signing up for ByBit with the Cracking Cryptocurrency referral link found in the description below. Don't make the same mistake as Jason. Sign up today at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's some wild button clicking there. All right, let's take a look at what we got for today. First off, Eli back. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. He asks, BSV breaking out of a bull flag ? Can you please check? Hit up that like button, guys, and subscribe. Thank you, Eli. Highly appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, let's take a look at BSV for you. Over on Finex. Not on the daily. I mean, to keep things simple on the daily, let's see here. Daily time frame would have missed this. I assume most people would have FOMO'd into this at some point in time. Because of that movement, we don't have continuation trades yet. A long invalidation below 0.01795 sats, and no long continuation yet on the daily. Obviously, rising volume. What we did catch is this trade right here, continuation on this trade, exit, and then we almost popped it. We almost popped it, but not quite. Otherwise, that would have been a big booyah moment for the daily system here. Going down to the hourly for you. Let's see what's going on today. This does not look like it's breaking out of a bull flag to me. Seems like maybe we asked that question an hour ago, and then we got this rejection hammer candle so far. Overall, BSV has formed a new low after tapping its low over here. Or excuse me. BSV, after tapping VPVR, or this little stutter step that we took on the way up, kind of came all the way down and tapped that at around 0.01845. Have come up to retest the highs. We are currently making a higher high from our previous high, and we are making a little bit of lower lows on the hourly. Let's take a look at VPVR. Yeah, so our last little threshold of resistance is going to be up around 0.0214. 0.0214, about 3% to the upside. We are currently above the point of control, so I think the intraday movement would be to see if we hold the point of control and get a nice bounce and reestablish that as support instead of resistance around 0.2, 0.02, and then kind of make your next deterministic move from there. Current significant support for the entire trend is going to be around 0.018. Falling below that, we obviously get down to 0.017, and it starts to get rough. So we do have these inefficiencies. These inefficiencies here, and probably the biggest one here, which price does like to fill from time. But what I also won't lie is that nice trending movement from BSV. Nice trending movement from BSV. I've explained this at length. BSV didn't really do anything that every single other cryptocurrency didn't do. The reason why, in my opinion, BSV moved so much, unfortunately to the BSV fans out there, not that I can't be wrong and not that they may not be right, but there is a little bit more fundamental excitement about BSV potentially that accelerated this movement. The reality is that BSV's been delisted from almost all major exchanges, so there's less volume, there's less liquidity. So less liquidity equals more volatile price movement. So on a day where EOS, or on a day where Lend pumped 40%, and on a day where BTC pumped 7 or 8%, and on a day when XRP pumped 9 or 12%, I believe, and EOS pumped, and Ethereum pumped, and everything pumped. BSV, the less liquid of the coin, look at the altcoins, right, as well. Lend, again, pumping about 40%. A lot of other examples of that as well. And BSV, again, falling right into that range of liquidity, in my opinion, and SAT value. So to me, that kind of makes sense for the movement. We do have this nice, this nice secondary bullish candle to the upside. So I'm not going to lie. We are in bullish territory on the daily, and we talked about those invalidation areas. I would be cautious or trading with lower risk. The reason why is because we're a far way away from our invalidation zone. Again, distance to stop loss doesn't matter. Distance to invalidation doesn't matter. And it's not that bad for an altcoin because all you do is modify your position size. And again, yeah, I think if we get a daily close potentially above this local high, then we'll have made another higher high and another higher low and ride the trend as long as she does. Again, current invalidation, i.e. trailing stop, around 0.018. So any entries down here, you're sitting pretty. You're sitting good. So don't stress it. Let it ride. Other than that, yeah, we bounced off the initiation of selling on the last swing to the downside. On the higher time frame, again, we do have VPVR resistance directly overhead right here, which is where we rejected from. We rejected from the bottom of it. Significant daily support, a little bit lower than what we actually tested, down here around 0.017. So kind of zoomed out, that makes a little bit more sense for market structure. We start to get probably insanely, what's the word I'm looking for here? Tension starts to get probably highly bullish and insane above 0.024 as we approach the ATHs of BSV traded against Bitcoin. Currently, though, from a macro structure here, lower high. On the meso though, on the meso, and this is the daily again. On the meso, we are forming a higher high and a higher low. Okay. But still, again, shrouded in a macro downtrend. So try to be as objective as I can. So if I were to be a little discretionary with this, this seems like the logical area for a lower high. If that macro trend is going to continue, and we are again rejecting from VPVR resistance. Again, at this point in time, I wouldn't be looking to short this movement. I don't like the counter trend trade. Why would you short something after a huge bullish move to the upside? I think people like that are thirsty. You got a beautiful trailing stop loss and great profit. So don't be greedy, because there's always the possibility that this keeps moving. Just let your trade play out. Just let it go. Definitely have taken some profit off the table on this. And see what happens. I think if we form a higher low in this structure right here, down at around 0.017, then we actually do stand a chance to maybe, I doubt it. I doubt on the next swing. I doubt on the next swing if we'll make a higher macro and break this trend. But potentially another higher high to keep this going, which I would expect potentially could be right around 2.7. Right around 2.7. Oh, I could see it playing out like this. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry. There it is. Thank you so much, Eli, again for the $5 super chat. Highly appreciate it, my friend. Somebody asked me to take a look at Lockheed Martin. Okay. Lockheed Martin looks great. And I'm bullish on traditional stocks. I have been for 10 years. We got sorry, that's a blanket statement. Continuation on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and opening up to a nice, beautiful open. So again, entry anywhere around here last week was good. No long continuation entry right now. Nice rising volume in a bullish trend. This looks great. This looks great. Again, would not recommend an entry if you didn't enter over here. But entry right around here would be putting your first take profit right around where we're close to getting, around 419 to about 421. So looking pretty good, Lockheed Martin. Ken says Hecla Mining looking for a re-entry point after I sold up around 335. It's closer to $3 now. Let's take a look at the old Hecla. Yeah, we nailed that one, didn't we, bro? I wouldn't be looking for entries right now, man. We're in bearish territory. Let's go look at the weekly. Things look a little different. Yeah, see, we as you can see, the dot moved from the bottom to the top, so we are in pullback mode even on the weekly. Still bullish on the weekly, but here's the weekly entry and here's the weekly exit, and we have the baseline all the way down at 250, man, 249. So I would just cool your heels on this one, man. We're not there yet. On the daily, if we want to get aggressive, we got to wait for price to come all the way back up to 346 for entry. So can't sign off on advising you to do anything with Hecla, man. Just move on, find a different stock, brother. Wendy wants to take a look at NHYDY. Norsk Hydro, huh? Whoa, look at this thing. Jesus Christ. Could you bring me something better? Woo, man, we are in altcoin land. All right, I love you, man. I'm just being hard on you. Almost. I think you might be able to go long on this tomorrow. We get another bullish candle. Nice gap up. We're still in purple dot territory, meaning longs are not okay. We are above the baseline, but we're looking for continuations because we never closed below. So rising volume, it looks good on the daily, but we need to wait a day. Or we need to close above 369.29. So another fraction of 29 cents. 29/100ths of a dollar. We need to keep going. Come on, baby. First take profit at 376, man. Best of luck, brother. How can it be possible that how can it be that most people are short if the funding is positive? Thank you. Let me correct. I apologize if I misspoke. Clearly, funding is positive, so the majority of people are long. Okay, I did not imply that most people are short. I said that a lot of people are going to be putting on short positions here to trade the meme trend line, right? A lot of people, in my opinion, meaning traders. A lot of traders are going to be attempting to go short here, not the majority of the retail market. I apologize. Wayne asks, if you guys had to take along on Bitcoin for a whole year and you had to buy in the next 12 weeks, what price would you hope to enter for realistically? I mean, just personally, man, if I knew that I had to go long and I had to hold it for a year, I would just buy right now. I like Bitcoin. I have fundamental faith in Bitcoin that trumps and exceeds things that I would have in other assets. So I'm in Bitcoin for the long haul. I'm in Bitcoin for the long haul, for the good or the ill. Right now, again, I would say based off today's daily analysis, I would be looking for entries around 7,700 down to 7,200. So again, it kind of depends. I want to make sure that I define the variables of this thought experiment, right? Do I have the option to like just buy whenever, or I have to set an arbitrary price? Because, I mean, obviously, I would say if I had to buy and hold Bitcoin for a year, what price would I like to buy it at that I think price could trade at this year? I would say something like 4,900, 5,500. Because I do think that if we do reject from here on the weekly and form another lower high, then we're most likely going to make another lower low and go down to those areas that I've gone over those. I've gone over those charts a lot of data that points down there. But again, currently we're getting something new, Bitcoin breakout on the weekly. So, if I could trade the way that I normally trade, then I would look to load up around 49, 5,500, scaling right around there. But if I have the option to buy my breakout, if I have the option to enter now, as I have, and then exit, realize I was wrong, take a loss, and then buy lower, then I would do that. But if you're putting me on the spot and I have to buy and I have to pick a price, well, I'm not certain that price will trade at 55 or 4,900 this year. But I'm pretty darn sure that it will trade higher than it currently is. And I know for sure that price is currently trading at roughly $8,000. So I would just buy right now. Just buy right now. Why? Why finagle? Doesn't make sense to me. Sincere80 says, hey, Justin, any thoughts about the 1355 EMA Cross on the daily? It can be relevant. I don't trade it as much because they're going to happen more often. I do prefer the weeklies because that's kind of when that happens on the weekly, that lets me know, like, regardless of anything else that's going on, you need to be short right now, bro. So yeah, definitely tradable, but does of course add a little strength to the weekly long signal. Scott Bedard says, thanks for the content, brother. I'm new to trading and your videos have been a lot of help. Thank you, man. Appreciate the support. Make sure to hop in our Discord, man. Make yourself known. Be happy to help you out with our community as much as we can. We got Mr. Marchampa asking for the Stinky Linky. Let's go check her out. Go Link, baby. Let's do, let's just look at it. Exit signal on the daily today, good sir. Exit signal today, good sir. You can re-enter on a daily close now above $2.30. Excuse me, $2.30, 774. 2.30774 on a re-entry breakout trade. Currently, price is overall bullish above $1.79. But that's a big distance, sir. So we going to just take our profits and from here and just slide on along there. Yes, sir. Yep. Exit signal on the daily, sir. On today's daily candle. RJ Jamal asks if I can analyze Litecoin to the dollar. Sure, my friend. We'll go over to BitMEX. Litecoin to the dollar is giving us a continuation long signal today. Price is currently trading at 49.57 now, 59.54. Wow, that thing's kind of volatile intraday. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese. You got your initial entry over here, had a pullback in continuation entries all the way along here. Nice run up, first profit taking. Price pulls down, reversal baseline bounce. Re-entry here on this candle. Continuations here. Run-ups, profit taking, and now another continuation. So I would be expecting another leg up for Mr. Litecoin. We got nice rising volume. Litecoin looks quite good. And again, I always try to do this. I am actually long on Litecoin. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of that, so that you're aware that I'm sure that, so that you are aware that there may or may not be a little bit of bias in me feeling that it's bullish. Again, you see my system is very objective. It's the same way that I analyze other markets. But again, full disclaimer, I am long on Litecoin. So. And Wayne Arndt. We want to look at the ZK Snarks, Zcash to the oozed. Yeah, Zcash is oozing those profits all over, man. Wow. 37.77. Zcash is good, man. Zcash is good. Initial entry over here or here. Continuation here and here. And no entry since then. So if you missed it here and you missed it here, I can in good conscience tell you to buy it. I can in good conscience tell you to buy it right now. Let's see. We are coming up to some interesting areas here. We are coming up to the point of control. So this is what you want to do. Regardless of where you've been in Zcash, you need to take some profit off the table right now. You need to move your stop loss to break even. And you need to wait for the breakout for a BPC. Let price break the point of control, pull back to it. So this is why you only take partial profit. If price breaks the point of control and puts in kind of a blow off top, great. Use that opportunity to sell at a better price. Wait for the pullback, see if we reestablish the point of control as demand, and then we might be able to be talking. Then we might be able to talk about taking another leg up to 45. Otherwise, this is going to be a higher high after a higher. We haven't really put in a higher low yet. Put in a higher low here on the daily, but it wasn't really impressive. That was during a parabolic runoff, and I like to see what is the low after price is really sold off. So I don't really consider this a low. But you do have price is good. No continuation today. A long invalidation below 33.34 and looking for shorts below 30.24. But I would, unless we get a blow off top, this is a likely pullback area. We're at the point of control, previous distribution area. So be safe. I would take some profits, my friend. Protect yourself and wait. You got to be a little patient for Zcash. We got some good performance out of it. Let's see if we can get some more. But you got to be a little savvy about it. Nice rising volume, but overall it's good. Just a little discretion there. Thank you so much, Ohm, for the subscription on YouTube. And I think Eli Back just sent a few more tendies. What do you got to say, brother? Oh, I'm tripping. I do not have Creator Studio open, and I missed it. So let me go to... other than that, that's going to have to conclude today's show. I'm going to respond to Eli here, and then we got to get cracking on, guys. Your activity. Oh, my brother. Okay, I'm sorry, Eli. I didn't even notice, my friend. Thank you so much for the $12 today. You sent me another $5 with money falling out your eyeballs there, and another $2 that says 180 people watching and only 43 likes. Yes. Shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. Just kidding, guys. It is what it is. I know it is really hard to take the mouse and go click. It's overwhelmingly difficult, guys. It's overwhelmingly difficult. But the guys who are here all the time, I love you guys' support. You guys are absolutely fantastic. So with that being said, guys, fantastic show today. We got to cover a whole lot. Thank you guys. Fantastic questions as always. And let's go over to the outro. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I've been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys go on to trade very safely today and have a fantastic rest of your day. Again, if you guys would like to work with a team that deals in statistical probability and actually building models, actually working with the members in our community, make sure to check out everything that we're doing over at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Proprietary indicators, signals, strategies, mentoring, and our community. Love to have you guys in there. We're here to help you grow. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, leave them in the comment section down below on the YouTube video, and I will do my best to respond back to you within the next 24 to 48 hours. If you guys enjoy the content, enjoy the show, make sure to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button, and you can also follow us over on Twitter at cracking_crypto. We're pretty active over there. Twitch and DLive, we also broadcast to as well. Those are our backups in case Google decides the cryptocurrency can be no more. And of course, join our free community, our free trading community on Discord at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. I will be back for tomorrow at noon p.m. Central Standard Time, as I always am, for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. And until then, guys, be excellent to one another and trade safely.